won't know where I'm come from. I've heard so many countries and places where everybody has joined. Me personally, I'm coming from the Caribbean. I come from Curaçao, a very small island, about 160,000 people. The island is 60 kilometers long, 20 kilometers wide, and so I've come, a very far way. Today, I am the COO for IT and operations of the Swiss Universal Bank, and I'm the head of IT Poland. I'm very glad to be standing here today, and what I wanted to use my time and to use this speech is to share some of the lessons that I have learned in building an international career. So to start, in saying that, I think we have heard it before, and I've been using a few pictures to remind, myself of those lessons, those 7 lessons that I'm going to take you through. And the first one is, dare to stand out. You've heard before, don't listen to others, don't let others judge you. Listen to your own music. Listen to what your heart is saying and what you want to do. And that's what I did. A lot of people, told me that I'm, 4 brothers and sisters I have. I should, we all went to study. They all went back. I didn't go back. I had big dreams. I wanted to see the world, and so I did. And why was that? That was because I was different. I was not just listening to what people told me. I was doing, what I wanted. And so I think the first thing that I would like to share with you is that you have all done or very about, to complete your educations. You will all be, very good. The world out there is competitive. And so how do you get noticed? How do you get noticed in a positive way? Raise your hands, ask questions, volunteer, for activities. That is really how you get positively noticed, and that is what helped me a lot. The next one is be brave. And so what does that mean? My lesson here is I always ask myself, what is the worst thing that could happen? Why can I not jump into the unknown? Can I only work in a field what I have studied? Or can I also do, something else? And so they often say that women, they would like to check all the boxes, see if they can, are they a perfect fit, to what it is they have studied, and then only, go into that field. What I have learned is by jumping into the unknown, by being brave, actually you have more options, you will learn on your way, and you can go to many places. After I finished my studies, because I studied in the Netherlands, I decided I wanted to work in Switzerland. Now, one of the conditions was I had to learn German. And guess what? It took me 3 months, and I learned German, and that was, the start of my international career. The next one for me is don't lose your passion. And actually what you will see is that as you go through your career, there starts to be, some repetition. And repetition often, results in complacency. It results in, trying that same solution, trying the same, solving the same type of problems. And so for me, what was important is to always put, your full energy in it. Really work, with a lot of passion and energy, because that is how you come up with new solutions and, new ways of exploring, what it is you want to do. I was working first as a consultant in the telecommunication area, and as, the technology was changing, I started to see if I continue to work in this field, to be honest, I will be, out of business. So at almost the high, and we're kind of, going into the decline, I decided, I wanted to do something different. I changed my career, and I wanted, I made a complete, step, and then went into banking. That brings me into the next one, which is, believe in yourself. And so believe in yourself I like to give, two examples of how I learned that lesson. The first one was that after I have then moved to Switzerland, I wanted to go to Hong Kong. Asia was upcoming, there was a lot of work there, and I thought that my skills that I had could absolutely be applied and be necessary, in Asia. It actually was to set up, shared service centers or big, development centers, but then, in the Asian market. Guess what? I reached out to a few friends. I reached out into a network. I asked the person to give me an introduction. I said, I only need an introduction. The rest I'll do myself. What did I do? I approached a partner in Hong Kong. The person was interested. I bought my ticket. I went there. They said, but you don't have a visa. I said, well, how long is it going to take me? And so within 1 week, I had my visa. And so from the moment I had decided that I wanted to work in Hong Kong, it took me just 3 months to, make the move and start, yet the new phase into my career. And of course, you might ask, why the bamboo? And so I chose this picture because I think the bamboo is a very strong plant. And not only on the outside it looks very fragile, but on the inside it's very agile. And that is why I think, that's what a lot of women are. On the outside they might look, a little bit sweet and a little bit fragile, but often, on the inside we are very strong. But also, I think believe in yourself. So I spoke about the skills and my determination. But then I needed someone else to actually believe in me. And that was when I was then working in Hong Kong. The CIO in New York called me and wanted me to move to New York. Now this was going to Wall Street. Me? I don't think I can do that. I thought, they are way more intelligent than me. They know so much more than me. How am I going to be successful? And of course, you ask yourself the question, why me? And the answer I got was an answer I have never forgotten, and I really would like to share that with you, is to say, Stephanie, why you? Because I have seen how you work with people. I have seen how you change the way people think, the way people, work together. And actually, that is why we want you in New York. We want you to bring the people together, find new solutions, and find new ways to solve our problems. So suddenly, it was no longer my skills that counted, it were my soft skills that counted. Suddenly, I realized that actually it's not only what I know, but also in how I approach it. And I realized that some of my soft skills, the fact that I speak multiple languages, the fact that I am, kind of an open and very, collaborative type of person, the fact that I'm a global citizen, suddenly became my brand. And so that is how I then, went to New York and then, went into the next step of my career. That brings me to, you're not alone. And I guess everybody, knows how the geese, kind of work together and they motivate each other. Every time, one takes at the front and flies a little bit further and they keep rotating. Well, that is, what I have also realized. I've used my network. I have used mentors. I have worked, with my colleagues. We help each other. They help me. I help them. Today and, at the conference, it's an opportunity to get to know people, to connect to people, to start your network. You never know where it will take you. So use this opportunity to reach out and, to build that. If I count all the jobs that I have done, and I said, I have I'm at Credit Suisse, and I've worked 13 years for Credit Suisse. Before I was in consulting, and that was also 10 years. So I haven't been jumping around a lot. I have been actually rather loyal, to the companies where I've worked. But within that, I was able to move around. For Credit Suisse, I've moved, into 6 different countries. I have worked in Hong Kong, Singapore, India, New York, Switzerland, Poland. And all of that, in 13 years. And why was that? It was all because of my network. I think out of my entire career, 90% of the jobs and the roles that I was offered is because I was asked. So that is why I think, networking is so important. Don't be alone. But my most important mentor has been my partner. We've spoken a little bit and mentioned, some of the male colleagues that we have. And actually, my partner has been, the strongest mentor, very supportive. And every time when I said, what, they offered me a role, somewhere else, he was the first one to ask a few critical questions, whether it was the right move. But once I was decided and very decisive, he said, let's go and do it. And so that was, I think, very important to have really a person next to you that helps you to, move to the next step. I often get asked when people hear, wow, 7 languages you speak, you've worked, in over 8 countries, lived in over 8 countries, you come from Curaçao, you have worked in even, 20 countries. How do you do that? How do you plan? My answer is, don't plan. Keep your options open and be like a cloud that you change and morph, right? From being, sometimes you see in the clouds, you see an animal, and then it's a face, and then it's a landscape. That is what I have done. I keep my options open, I keep my ears open, and when the opportunity arises, I'm ready. I assess the situation and see, is that what I want? Is that where I want to go? And then off, to the next opportunity. So I think agility and keeping options open probably, is why I was able, to work so internationally and, to move always, to the next place. And I have 32 seconds. Most important, and that is the last one, is, to stay curious. And I think curiosity actually brings it all together. And I think curiosity also, throughout your career, if I take, to the next step, is basically, as you go through your career, in the beginning, it's really about, stand up and show yourself and be yourself. Then from there, it is really about, being daring and being brave. Then you move on and you show energy and passion and continuous. Don't get complacent, but keep investing in finding, kind of new solutions. Believe in yourself. There is a point where you start to doubt and where you kind of think, I'm not sure I can do that. The others are all way better. No, you can learn. You can constantly adapt, and that is, how you grow. Remind yourself that you're not alone. There are a lot of people here and a lot of people out there that are willing to help. I help them and they help me. And together we move forward. Keep your options open. Don't close it too much. Don't overplan only about, kind of the next step that only, takes you up. Sometimes you have to make some steps, to the side to then, find your way in this very big, technology world. And then, of course, last but not least, stay curious. Because if curiosity, leaves you and you start, just copying and replicating the same solutions and, the same methods, actually, you become outdated. And in this modern, technology world, what you have learned today might not be the skill and the things that you need to know for tomorrow. So, keep being curious, learn, and, all the best and good luck. I will be around. I'm looking forward to meet you. I'm very pleased to be standing here. Thank you very much.